welcome Leo to your Halloween special. We're going to be starting with the Deviant Moon Tarot, which I'm going to have to pull out here so you can see it. I love this deck. I instantly bonded with this deck. And it's kind of spooky. It's a nice deck for Halloween, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using that for your 6-card main spread. Actually, it's 7 cards. Okay, Leo, what's your Halloween special look like? There we go. That feels good. Okay, coming from the bottom of the deck, for your underlying energy, you have the 2 of Cups, and it is in reverse. Okay, somebody else had a 2 of Cups in reverse right there. Okay, and under that you have the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, 2 2s there though, so. Okay, your issue with the heart of the matter, Judgment in reverse. Coming from the past, you have the Tower. Okay, now we're into some major arcana here with the Judgment and the Tower. Your present is the 2 of Wands. Okay, we've got all 3 2s out here. We're missing 1 2. Let's see if it comes out. Your future is, okay, the 10 of Wands in reverse. And your advice is death, change. Okay, very interesting that it's coming up right there under the Tower as well. That's some really big energy there, guys. We've got 1 2 3 major arcanas. You have a 10 here, you have a 20 here, and all these 2s. This is crazy. You have 3 2s. So when you get all the 2s out, it's important to notice which one's missing. And in this scenario, it is actually the 2 of Air, or the 2 of Swords. Okay, which means decision, and it did show up in one of the previous readings, so we'll see if it comes up again. I'm actually going to clarify with the same deck. I didn't really do that for anybody else, but I'm feeling led to do so. I'm going to jumper here, and I'm looking at the Judgment card. Let's see what we have to say. We've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so this is, normally it's about balance because he has enough. He has more than enough, he can give again. Okay, and you see he's giving to somebody who was clearly in a lower position. Alright, but it's coming out in reverse. And it's also coming out underneath Judgment reversed. So I'm wondering if we're having a rebirth financially, because it looks like you're really tired. Okay, let's see what's going on with all these 2s, y'all. All these 2s. So many 2s. So many 2s. Ten of Cups. Okay, so this is about your long-term fulfillment and desire. And you're still only at 2s back here. Excuse me. So this is relatively, seemingly new energy, right? But you've got tired energy here, and death and Tower here. So you've got a surprise coming in from the past. You've got inevitable change in both of these scenarios. And you also have that in the Judgment as well. Okay? So, alright. Let's go ahead and move on to the Witch's Tarot, because this is the Halloween special. I've already got jumpers here, but I wasn't really looking for them. We do have the Wheel of the Year, that's another 10. There's the 3 of Cups, and the Lovers in reverse. So I'm going to assume that this Lovers in reverse is a relationship that didn't go well, or didn't end well, or something came up, and it could have been a third-party issue. Either that, or it's time for you to go out and fill your social well cup outside that of the confines of whatever this toxic energy was. Okay, and your fortune will improve. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with all these twos still. And then, you know, with death coming up there in the as the advice, so that means change, transform, facilitate the rebirthing process. But I'm still curious about these twos. Is this a should I stay or should I go scenario? You have the Empress. Another major arcana. I hope you can see it okay. So if this is your energy, Leo, she's usually pregnant. It's begging you for rebirth and to hold space for something new, especially if you want to be able to dump those wands and feel light again. And that's also showing up. So the Ace of Pentacles. Something new is going to come into the fold if you give it enough space to do so, and you will move off into another direction, and it's going to allow you to open back up to that feeling of commitment and contentment that you had or wanted. I'm going to go ahead and do something a little bit extra special for you guys and pull out some Steampunk Tarot for you. Okay, because this feels very relationship-y and very scorpionic because we have death there. And this is about the Halloween season, right? So let's go ahead and have a look and see what Steampunk can tell us. Right there. The Two of Wands. Wow. So we got the Two of Wands twice. Alright, two different decks. The Four of Pentacles. Uh-oh. Okay, so it's good to know what's of value to you. It's always good to know what's of value to you. And there's always a season for saving, right? But it's also good to remember to basically give and receive with an open hand. And don't hold too tightly onto that which you possess, because a closed fist can't receive, right? Let's go with a big one. So a money issue might be at play here. A lot of back and forth energy with these Two of Wands. Like, what do I do? Which way do I go? Which way do I go? And we get the Tower again. Guys, you can't make this up. Okay, it's a different deck. This is the Steampunk deck. And you have the Tower back here in the original spread. Right there. Okay? So I think that's a good, kind of a good place to set down the Steampunk Tarot there, because there's a surprise coming about a house. A housing situation, a home situation, or in a particular relationship. If it hasn't already happened, I think it already has happened. The Tower. Okay, especially with the Lovers on top of it in reverse. This is a relationship that came to an end. Maybe the big relationship, the big one, you know? And we've got new growth here, a new seed to be planted, and you're holding room for things to grow, and you're going to allow for the change. The advice is to allow for change. So this is the Halloween special, so I have some very special decks to introduce to you, Leo. We have the Black Moon, astrology cards. I love these cards. I love all these cards, or I wouldn't use them. I do highly recommend these decks. I don't sell every single one of these decks, but I sell most of them. Actually, I think there's only one of these decks that I don't actually have in my store. Okay. Black Moon Astrology Halloween special for our Leo friends. What can we share with them? Why is this Tower so significant? There it is right there. Aries, I am. And one more from the bottom. Pisces, I believe. So this is really, really cardinal type energy here, especially with this Aries right here. This is kind of paradigm shifting for you, I think, but it looks really good. I like it. It looks really good so far. Okay, so we'll continue to clarify with the Moonology Oracle deck. Lovely deck, lovely little deck. Okay, we already got a jumper. What do we have here? Adjustments are required. Well, that's pretty obvious. So you're going to be challenging the status quo, okay, for what's normal for you. The Tower tells you that. Death tells you that. So you may have to get comfortable with being a little bit uncomfortable. And it says you're very close to achieving your goal, whatever your goal was. Let's give you one more from the Moonology. I feel like it's just a little pivot. It's not really quite as scary. It might feel scary, but it's not quite as scary as you think it is. There you go. Your commitment is being tested. And what do you need to release? Okay? That kind of speaks to what are you holding on to in this scenario that you need to release, that you need to let go of in order to, you know, move and close in on what you were originally, what you committed to, what you worked so hard for. Now let's go ahead and dig into a little bit deeper on the shadow work here with Dark Mirror. Okay, here's this deck. What can we share with our Leo friends? We have forgetting oneself. Don't forget yourself. What's the phrase we like to use? You got to put the oxygen mask on your face before you can put it on anybody else's face. You have to take care of number one before you can take care of anybody else. Yeah, they're just jumping out of this deck. We have Artificial Heart and Sacrifice. Look, you do not have to artificially sacrifice who you are in order to make your happiness known and come to fruition and be able to facilitate the transition that you're approaching and that the advice tells you to do. You have to remember to come from a place of authenticity and what is of value to you. It is not your responsibility to sacrifice who you are and what is of value to you for the sake of someone else. Okay? For your Halloween special, we have the grand finale of the Halloween Oracle. Another lovely deck. I absolutely love this deck. It's beautiful. I already got some jumping, but let's just give it a second, okay? They didn't come all the way out. Now I got a whole bunch coming out. Alright, you got two. Okay. Skull of Stars, which is infinite possibilities. Okay? And the Veil, which is the future. The future does hold infinite possibilities, folks. You don't get to write the future. You only get to write today. And you hope, in the end, that all the choices you made every day reflect what you want long term. So your choices need to align with what you want for yourself long term. And that comes by feeding the self. You know, you have to fill your own cup, you know, going back to the oxygen mask. Okay?